Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 11 of Higher Minds. Today we have somebody everybody, you guys all know. We're coming back for a part 2 with Golden Psy. Hey, Psy, how's it going? How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing? How's everybody in chat doing? Hope everybody's
I
doing
am
well.
doing good. I am doing well. Feeling much better. Thanks for asking. And speaking of chat, we got a few people in chat. So I'll give them a quick shout out. We have Justin Johnson came in first, and then I came in on the wrong account, on my EverJosh account, and we're like, whoops, I better switch that. So then I switched over to my real or not for real, and then we had Mud Rabbit join us, and in the studio, Michael Fontaine is everybody who's spoken up so far in the chat. So if you're out there, just watching, say hi. We'd love to hear from you. We'll be watching the chat throughout the night, and if you have any questions, pop them in there, and we'll see if we can answer them. See if Sai can answer them for you. And Jenny Eversole is here, my ex-wife. So, hey Jenny, thanks for stopping by.
If you have questions, I'll
So
try
yeah,
to answer them the best I can.
yep. And if you do have a question, try putting it in like all caps or tag one of us, so they'll be easier to pop out. Because I have a hard time reading the chat and following what we're talking about sometimes. So yeah, anything you can do to make the question pop out easier, feel free to do that. So, all right. So, how's your day been going so far? Everything going good for you?
Yes, my day's been hectic. I've been having furniture delivery stuff going on, but it's been good. It's been a good day. I wanted to let everybody know I did look into the Chinese zodiac and how that works within the Western zodiac astrology. And they are similar in some ways and they're different in some ways. So some of the similarities is they do fall into 4 categories and they do go on cycles. And with personality traits, there are some similarities. However, the Chinese zodiac works on just a lunar cycle, whereas the Western zodiac works on all the planets. Um, there are some sites out there that do put the two together, but I find it a little hard to decipher everything because I have done Western astrology for so long that it's kind of hard for me to see not add the other planets into the mix. So I do suggest you check them out yourself. Remember, if it says it's the year of the horse or the rabbit or whatever, or the dragon, there are multiples that the Chinese zodiac actually considers. Like there's a fire dragon and a water dragon and an earth dragon and an earth horse. And so they're all different categories. Just as with the Western astrology, it has air, fire, water, and earth. So if you want to check that out, and you can actually find websites that put the Western astrology along with the Chinese astrology. And I did, like I said, I did see some similarities um, between the traits, but I still think overall it's very generalized. That's how I see it. The Chinese zodiac, I think, is a little more generalized. But again, that could be my bias because I've been doing Western zodiac for so long. Um, but if anybody's interested in it, I do suggest you can just Google it. It does come up. And there are sites that do have, say, if you're a Leo and you are in the year of the horse or the year of the rabbit or the monkey or whatever it is, there's specific types that go along with that year, and that usually falls on the day. So certain days of the month of that year, you may be a water dragon. Certain days of the month of the year, you might be a fire. So just kind of don't take it as just the generalized, it's the year of the rabbit. It may be the year of the rabbit, but different days in that year have different meaning in the Chinese zodiac.
Right.
So I
And
hope
so,
that answered.
yeah, well, I was kind of curious about it because I never even it never even occurred to me until somebody asked on that last show about uh, the Western zodiac versus the Chinese zodiac. Like I just always kind of assumed that the zodiac was the zodiac. I didn't realize there was two separate things. So I'm glad they asked that question and got you to do a little research into it because that was interesting. But it seems like you said that only bases on the lunar cycles in the Chinese, correct?
Yeah, in the Chinese, it only bases on the lunar cycles. So you're actually missing like how the sun affects you. And we all know if you're in the sun, sunburns. And there's people that have watched the sun flares and stuff. The magnetism from the sun does affect the earth. And there are things that do happen out there in outer space that do affect us. So it doesn't take the sun into or any of the other planet or any other planets into account. And that's why, as being I guess you could say, a student of the Western zodiac, I kind of find it too generalized because it doesn't go in specifics. Like with the Western zodiac, you have houses and you have alignments and everything. I mean, it can get kind of complicated and everything. So it's like they don't take any of that into consideration, but they do take the
Yeah,
days. So like, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying this is what it is, but say like from March to May, whatever, you may be a horse, a fire horse, and then from June to whatever, you may be a water horse or a earth horse. So it does. They do break it down throughout the year, but it's just a little hard for me. And I do think it's kind of cool that they give a generalization, like if you're a Western and the Western zodiac, and they kind of try to combine the two. But for me personally, I found it a little too general. But it's definitely worth a check. Like, check it out.
yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. It sounds like it's just a little more basic. Like Mud Rabbit says, Chinese zodiac is pretty basic. Um, but yeah, so it seems like it's similar, but just in just a part. Like if it's only the lunar, it's just one part of the Western zodiac that it focuses on, and kind of leaves out the rest,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
it doesn't take in what parts of life. Like with the Western zodiac, it has different parts, like your personality, your love life, money, career, and everything else. They have different separate houses that mean different things, friendship and etc. But they don't have that specifically that I could find. I really did try to look for it, guys. I really, really did try to look for it. If anywhere in that it goes into more specifics, but everything was just generalized traits. Now, I don't know if they have like a birth chart for the Chinese zodiac. I couldn't find that either. So if anybody finds that, more than welcome to send me the link, and I will definitely look into it more. But really, it was just more generalized than anything.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So that's all I have on the Chinese zodiac.
Okay.
uh,
Yeah. No. Yeah. You said that you looked into it and you weren't really feeling it, but we appreciate you doing that
yeah.
research because I mean, yeah, like I said, I never even knew that really that there was a difference between the two or that they were two separate things. So
I only remember him being on like a placemat in the Chinese restaurant.
yeah, me too. That's how I learned that I was the year of the dragon. Uh, And yeah,
And so
I
I
remember it
think
was kind
that's
of embarrassing, because I remember because then I like when I seen that I'm like, oh, I'm a dragon, and then I started asking all my family, uh, uh, what theirs was, and so I asked my sister, and then my dad, and then I asked my mom, and so I looked up her year, and I just like said real loud, I'm like, oh, mom's a cock. Because that's what it said on the thing, and my parents just like their eyes got real big and were like, shh, shh. They were like, shut up, don't say that, don't, like shushing me down. I'm like, oh, I had no idea until years later what I said, but but yeah, that was kind of funny little
that
memory.
is that is funny. All right, so is everybody ready for round two of the Western Zodiac? We consider this class 102, right?
Yeah, Zodiac 102.
Zodiac 102.
Yeah,
So I wanted to talk a little more about friendship and compatibility because I get asked that question a lot because that's what people want to know about. Like, who am I compatible with? What is my love person? Um, but I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger for 1 second, and I'm going to talk about twin signs. So a twin sign is a sign that's opposite of each other. They are considered twins. And for example, like if you go Aries, the twin sign is Libra. And I'm just going to use those two examples. And I know I got an Aries out there watching, and I'm not pointing you out, not pointing me out, but just going to use the two examples. um, but so when signs are twins, they're just opposite in the wheel. Um, do you have a picture of the wheel, the zodiac wheel, by any chance?
the wheel. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. So the sign, and it kind of has it on a tilt, but you should be able to see it. The sign that's opposite is the twin. So we all heard of the good twin and the evil twin, and it's not quite like that, right? What it is
mm,
they are similar in certain traits, but one will be more more prevalent and better at a certain trait than the other. So if you take Libra and Aries is known for its high energy and its, you know, definite activity, whereas Libra is known not to have that. We're kind of the lazy people of the zodiac sign. If we can find work smarter, not harder, um, we're less. Not that we don't have energy, we just have less activity. So one will be good at one thing, and the other one will still be able to do it, but won't be as good at it. But they do have similarities that can kind of pull them together in friendship and compatibility. So I can take another one, which is Gemini and Sagittarius. They are twin signs. When it comes to making money, they both are good at it. When it comes to spending money, Sagittarius is usually better at saving than Geminis are. And when it comes to like socializing and stuff like that, they're usually very compatible, and lifestyle, they're usually compatible too. Whereas Sagittarius is usually rooted more in group and family and having fun, where Gemini is a little more serious. So they have similar traits, and when you're around your twin zodiac, you can feel like they're kind of mirroring you a little bit. And you can feel like you have a lot in common with them. That there are so many similarities that you're kind of pulled to them. Not all twins are compatible in a romance or even a friendship, because depending on the sign, what they are good at can turn into more of a competition of I'm better than you are at it type thing. So, and also because if you take Capricorn and Cancer, Cancer is very emotional. Capricorn's not. So they can really kind of repel each other. And but you can find that similarities in friendship, and I've known several twin signs that actually be in a romantic relationship with each other and it work out fine. It all depends. Again, this is all general. I tell people all the time when I'm on streams, when I talk about just one thing in the sign, it's the sun sign, and that's only counting for the sun. There's a lot of other things that take place in the birth chart that can be vastly different than the actual sun sign. So this is just general speak. If you
Yeah.
want more information, you got to let me know.
So, so just to be clear, the twin signs, they're the ones that are directly opposite from each other on the circle, correct?
That is correct.
And and so does that mean if they're twin signs, does that mean that they're more likely to be compatible or more likely to not be compatible?
It depends. Like Aries and Libra, romance wise, not a good idea. But friendship wise, they're really good. Um, Gemini and Sagittarius are usually good on a romance level, um, and can be as friends as well. So it all depends, like on the signs themselves and what the what they're good at. Like if you put, like I said, a Cancer with a Capricorn romantically, or even in a friendship, they're not going to get along. They have two completely different personalities, even though they have similarities. Like they both like to work outdoors and they both like to build things and do things that they have in common. But the core of who they are is too opposite. So it all depends.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because it seemed like you were talking about two that were twin signs that wouldn't get along, but then when I'm looking at it and like my twin sign is Pisces, and when we were talking last night, you were saying Pisces would be uh a good one for me.
Yeah,
So it really doesn't matter that being a twin sign, it could be either or, it could be a good relationship or bad. Uh that doesn't really being a twin sign doesn't affect the compatibility.
it doesn't affect the compatibility or friendship necessarily, but you will feel more of a pull to have them in your life. Like, for example, if you, I'm just going to go back with the Aries and Libra thing. I'll have more of a pull to be friends with an Aries than I will another any other sign because we have so much similar traits, and it's kind of like either a push or a pull. So either they'll really repel each other or they'll really pull together, um, in friendship or in romance or in both. So, but I hear a lot of people talk about their twin sign and kind of like think it's like this huge thing. It really isn't. It really isn't. And I kind of wanted to touch base on it because it all depends. If you get a Gemini and a Sagittarius together, or even like a Pisces and a Virgo together, they're really compatible. But then if you go to like the cardinal signs, like the Aries and Libra, they'll be compatible in a friendship, but yet a Capricorn and a Cancer usually won't. So it depends on the sign, the twins themselves. And
Okay.
as far as the good twin versus the bad twin, um, that's a myth because they can both have not such great traits and they both can have good traits. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the good twin, bad twin type thing. Just because someone is your twin zodiac doesn't mean that they're going to be compatible for you, but it doesn't mean that they're not either. So it
Okay.
all really depends. Um, Now we'll get on to romance. Who wants to know who they're compatible romantically? Um, so I'll start off with, might as well start off with number one, Aries. Aries is a strong fire sign in the cardinal signs. Um, they are usually more compatible with less emotional and energy and high energy signs. So that would leave like some of the earth signs out of it, more fire signs than anything, and sometimes air signs. So I would, if I was going to put an Aries with any zodiacs, I would kind of put them with um, Cancers or Geminis. Definitely Geminis. Aries and Geminis are almost like the perfect match. The respect between the two of them is huge, and they can handle each other. They can handle each other on every type of way. So it's usually good for an Aries with a Gemini. Um, Aries and Virgo. That can be a hit or miss because Virgos can have an emotional side to them that Aries can't handle. And Aries can kind of be a little bossy, and Virgos don't like to be bossed around. So and I'm not saying all Aries are bossy, but Virgos definitely don't like to be told what to do, and they like to have more of the control or equal control of a relationship. Um, did my Aries leave? Mud Rabbit, are you there?
I think Mud Rabbit's still here. We also had
Good.
pushing buttons. What's pushing again? You know what pushing is. He joined in.
Buttons. Hi,
Yeah,
Buttons. That's my fan club president right there.
yeah.
um, I absolutely adore him. He's great. So,
He's awesome.
um, so that's with the Aries. I would definitely put them with a Gemini first, and then possibly, like I said, a Cancer. There's admiration between Aries and a Cancer, um, and a lot in common with them. I wouldn't put them with too many other signs because they are strong. They are very strong sign. Um, who asked Aries and Virgo?
That
Who
was
was that?
Kinraz,
That
I
was
believe.
Ken.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, they put a little sick face or whatever. What is that face?
it's like a
I can't
smiley
tell.
face, kind of with his
Okay.
mouth open. Yeah,
um, I hope I didn't offend you again. I'm not saying it again. These are general. Team Libra. What? Can you read that,
oh, we got
Josh?
a
I can't
Libra.
read that.
It says Team
Hey,
Libra,
hi.
listening while I whistle at work. Big ups, Josh and Golden Psy. Thanks, Jared. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah.
I'm a Libra too. Thank you, Team Libra. Woo. So
Mhm.
next is Taurus. Um, Taurus is usually most compatible with um, they're a hard one. So there are some that I call the spoiled kids of the zodiac. They're going to be usually good with Sagittarius or um, someone that can kind of keep up with them. They usually are active people and they are good with money, but they also have a way that they like to help other people and improve. They are one of the upgrade people. They like to upgrade someone, you know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
they are mainly good with someone that signs that maybe need a little more help. Um, they love to be loved and they love to be needed. So I'm going through the wheel. I would put them probably with a Pisces or Cancer, because I think Cancer would really appreciate them. Um, Sagittarius, those are three I would probably put them with. I think the only problem between a Taurus and a Sagittarius is Sagittarian temper. If the Sagittarius has less of a temper, the Taurus might be a little better with them. But um, I think overall, I think the comfort zone will be there. Geminis. Ooh, this Geminis. Geminis, I would put with Virgos. Definitely. I would put them, of course, with Aries because I love the dynamic between the two of them. It is wonderful. But I put them with Virgos too. Capricorns. Um, Sagittarius, if they have the same motive in mind. So, when I mean that is depending on their chart and what matters to them, a Gemini and a Sagittarius would get along very well. But if the Gemini goes off the rail with spending money, then that's not going to help with the. And if Sag doesn't keep his temper, then that's going to lead to problems. But other than that, they are pretty
Yeah.
good together. And Cancers, I would put them with Scorpio. And the reason the Cancer Scorpio relationship is a complicated one, very complicated. But they both are water signs. Scorpio will be more able to deal with cancers are emotional. I mean, they're really emotional. I'm not speaking bad about them if there are any cancers out there, but you guys are very emotional people. And I think a Scorpio could handle that better than most in the zodiac. I'd also put them with um, an Aquarius because I think Aquarius would challenge them, or an Aries as well. Um, Next, we got Leos. Leo, Leo, Leo. Um, I know a lot of the compatibilities say Leo and Libra, but that's a touch and go type thing. It all depends on the birth charts. Leo and Libra can be very good together, but they can also be very, very bad together. So that I wouldn't necessarily put them with the Libra. Um, they are typically sometimes good with a Virgo. Um, they are also kind of go with the Aries because Aries doesn't see they're very creative people. They're very and they like attention. And
Yeah.
usually in Aries, when Aries likes somebody, they can give them that attention. They can really give attention. Aries is really good at that and praises and all that stuff. So for a Leo, I would say an Aries would be okay. I don't know so much for the Aries if a Leo would be okay with them. So I think for one side it would be good. One side, I don't know if a Leo would satisfy an Aries needs, but an Aries would definitely satisfy Leo's. Um, let's see what else did I put. Leo and Gemini. That is a dynamic duo right there. And I say that because they both are creative. They both like to be praised, so they can praise each other. They both have very strong social skills, and the amount of activity, like when a Leo says they're going to do something, usually they do it. And when Gemini says they're going to do something, they're going to do it. So they are very compatible in that way. Um, Next, Virgo. Virgo.
All right. Yeah, I know we have another Virgo in the chat,
Woohoo.
so I'm not
Who's
the only
that?
one here.
Is
I
that
think it was
Michael?
Ken Raz.
Was it Ken Raz?
Yeah, I think so. Let me double check. Uh, yeah, I think he said Team Virgo. Virgo.
Ken Raz, you still here? Okay, he's still here.
Oh yeah, it
Woohoo!
says, "Oh yeah,
Yes,
I'm a Virgo." Oh no, or he said, "Oh no, I'm a
Virgos.
Virgo." So I'm not sure.
Oh no. Oh no. That's not a bad
There's
thing. I
nothing.
love
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Virgos are wonderful. Virgos are wonderful. They are very compassionate people, and they they like aesthetics, the better things in life usually. If they're going to buy the dollar store or if they're going to buy the $3 item, usually they'll go for the $3 item. So they like they like more aesthetics. They are hard workers. I gotta give my earth signs up to that, man. My earth signs, they like to work their butts off, and um they are down to earth, so they can ground those air signs and keep those water signs from falling off the deep end um, when needed. And they are loyal people. So, what I would put Virgo with is definitely Pisces. The two of them would be wonderful together. It would be very exciting for the two of them to be together. You have Pisces, which is very family oriented and very problem solving. And you have Virgo that can be kind of scattered. Like they are cluttery. Virgos can be cluttery. So cluttery, but in order. It's the weirdest thing you ever want to see. Virgos can be like completely have everything in order so they know where it's at, but the whole thing can be a clutter. So you have Pisces that usually will move them into more organization and definitely be a fan of theirs. Like Pisces is definitely a fan of Virgo. I gotta be honest with you, it's definitely a fan. I would also put them with the Libra because Libra's balance is going to bring more fun into their life. Virgos have a habit of working a lot and not actually taking the time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And the
Yeah.
Libra doesn't like to spend a lot of money, even though they do like the aesthetics and they do like the finer things in life. They're not a big spendthrift type people, but when they go all out, they go all out. So, like, they may only go out once a year, but when they go out, they're going to like a 5-star restaurant. And that would definitely be something a Virgo would be interested in. It's definitely something like, okay, we'll save money, we'll do this, and we'll just go big, right?
Hmm.
Um, but Libra also bring more of a steadiness to Virgo's emotions because they are about the scales of justice. Um,
Right.
so
Yeah.
they do tend to, you know, even them out. Another one is typically, which can be touch and go, is Gemini. And that's because a Gemini will, the admiration between a Gemini and Virgo is strong. It's strong. It's a strong admiration. And the the Virgo will do almost anything for the Gemini. But what they have to watch out is listen being the Virgo or the Gemini has to be able to voice their opinion. So if you have a Gemini that's more timid with a Virgo, they might not be as happy. They have to be able to voice their opinion, which is Virgo sometimes, once they get it set in their head, that's what's pretty, that's what's great. They're kind of hard to talk out of it. And the Gemini's not going to want to disappoint them or upset them because of the admiration that they have. Um, I know you're a Gemini, the mind. So I think, um, I really think that would be a touch and go and would have to depend on the birth chart, the Virgo and Gemini. But like I said, Virgo and Pisces, I think that's a win-win situation right there. I really do. Um, any questions, Ken? Mr. Raz?
I don't see any questions yet, but
All right.
But I know we got a couple of Scorpios in here now too, with Jenny and Splatter,
Oh, goodness.
both
Water
Scorpios. So
signs.
yeah,
Let me touch on Libra. Libras are good with someone who can hold them down. Libras can be a little bit here and there. Indecisive, very indecisive. I know I have a fellow Libra in here somewhere. Where you at, fellow Libra? But they can be very indecisive, very, 1 minute they want one thing, next minute they don't know. It takes them a long time to make a decision, but once they make it, it's done. They stick to it. You are not changing their mind. Um, and they need someone that will ground them. They need someone. Libras are usually the ones that you have to tell them you are going out with them. So if you want a Libra, you have to tell them, "No, I'm your boyfriend," and that's it. And they'll go with it. They'll be fine with it. But if you don't tell them, they don't know. They don't recognize things, and they take things as because a Libra is very flirty and in personality and very friendly. So when you flirt with a Libra, sometimes they have no clue that you're actually flirting with them. They just think you're being friendly, you're being nice,
yeah,
and it'll totally go over their head. So you have to kind of be like, "Hey, by the way, we're going out." You know what I mean? You are, I'm yours and you're
yeah.
mine kind of deal, and that kind of thing. So I think the best sign, and I hate to be biased on this one, but I am biased, is Capricorn, because they definitely stake their claim, and they do hold down the Libra, ground the Libra to earth, give them time to make decisions. Um, if the chart of a Libra is a little more emotional, a Capricorn might not work, but generally speaking, Libra and Capricorns definitely usually they are the cardinal signs. They are You have Libra, that's money, love, and balance, and you have Capricorn, that's work, traditional, and time. So like the two just work. And I know a lot of astrology sites, excuse me, say on here that that wouldn't work, but it actually does work. And I think that freaks somebody and it freaks people out. I would also put a Libra with um, a Virgo. And the reason why I'd put a Libra with a Virgo, I think they would have fun together. It would be fun. Like if they have the commonalities, if they have traits that are in common or hobbies that are in common, it would be like being with your best friend all the time kind of deal. It would be great. It just would work. Definitely work. I think another one for Libra is a fellow Libra. Who else to understand Libra's complexity as well as another Libra? Excuse me. Um, However, the kickoff to that is a little difficult because you kind of have to settle a Libra down quickly and let them know that they're yours. It's who makes the first move. Is he going to make the first move or is she going to make the first move? So Libra on Libra can be complicated at some point in the beginning. Once they are together, it is absolutely wonderful because they do understand each other and will complement each other. But it's that initial beginning that's going to be like a little weird because it's like she's going to wait. Female Libras are more traditional in the male female roles. So she's going to wait for him to make a move, and he's going to be respectful of her as a female and not want to make the first move.
Hmm.
So the two of them kind of go on a standoffish. So if they actually can get together and spark the relationship off, it'll work. If not, they get bored of waiting for the other one to make a move and they'll just separate amicably. Like, and Libra is really good at ghosting. So when they leave, they leave. Like you're not going to hear from Libra again. Usually when they leave. Um, So when the two of them actually separate amicably, it kind of means they never talk again. But if they
Yeah.
can spark that spark, I think Sandy said something. Is something wrong with the sound, Sandy?
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. She said, yeah, what's with the sound? I don't know. I mean, everything's coming through. It sounds okay to me. Like I'm getting a little bit of that uh that interference that we were getting last night when we were talking, but just periodically here and there. So uh yeah, let me know if there's if something's wrong and it's like a bass thing.
I'm on my
Huh.
headset tonight, so I can try to. I don't know. I'll try to pull it. Sandy, you realize you like Scorpios are coming up next, and they're all waiting.
Yeah.
They're all. Well, I can't say all, but most of them are waiting eagerly.
Yeah. Yeah. Splatter's giving a thumbs up. The mind says sound is
Okay.
fine.
Do I have a 5x5 buttons?
Yeah.
All right.
I think yeah, I think we're all right. Uh Yeah,
All right.
if it's still bad, let us know. Because yeah, nothing worse than listening to a live stream with bad sound. Uh, so Jenny said, "I don't know, but it sounds like farts."
Oh God.
But it's
Oh,
not me, I
not me.
promise. I haven't
Not
eaten
me
anything
either.
today, so
It's all good, Jared said. All right.
all right.
Um,
Cool.
any of you hear it again, let me know. I have been clearing my throat because I'm getting a little hoarse there. Here,
So
drop.
real quick before you get into the Virgo or before you get into the Scorpio, the mind had a question. It says, "Why
Okay.
are there no turtle constellations?"
I don't know. The mind, why don't you look it up, hon? I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, you can look it up. um, so let's go on Scorpio for my Scorpios out there. So Scorpios are very different in the zodiac wheel. Excuse me, I got a cough. Because they are very spiritual and usually really love children and usually are really good with children. And they're good with more, excuse me, service oriented things, as in teachers and stuff like that. Um, they're highly social and like to be liked, and usually are more conforming to being liked. There's also that other side of the scorpion tail, which is the spitefulness and the revenge. And you Scorpios know exactly what I'm talking about. So, and that tit for tat, right? So
Uh-huh.
I would pair them with someone that can meet their emotional needs. And I would really pair them with Cancer. There will be a strong admiration between Cancer and Scorpios, generally speaking. Um, and that's primarily because they're on the same wavelength with emotional connectivity. And they both usually like to be social. And they also have interest in service, more service generated careers like teaching and stuff like that. Um, they also like to party, and usually Scorpios tend to usually not like to be by themselves. So unless they're had enough of people, because they can do that. Like when they've had enough of people, then they do isolate. But that's not often, and it's not common with most Scorpios. Um, I can say, like, I would also pair them with Pisces. Again, they meet on the emotional connectivity. I think, you know, Pisces and Scorpio kind of blend together, and there is very much loyalty between a Pisces and a Scorpio. And I think that's a good thing. But watch out, Scorpios, because if you mess with your other water signs, Cancer and Pisces, they do strike back as well. And I think that's what keeps a Scorpio in line, because they know that they'll strike back just as hard as they were striked. So the little snarkiness, the little things that Scorpios like to do, and you Scorpios know exactly what I'm saying. Um,
I know what you're saying.
the little spiteful things, watch, because a Cancer will snap back, and so will a Pisces. They'll hit just as hard. Um, Depending on the birth chart, I can put a Scorpio with a Libra, because the Libra will keep, they're kind of like a yin and yang type thing. Libras aren't over emotional, Scorpios are. So they kind of keep each other in check. But they both like to have fun, and they both like to be social at times. So more Scorpio likes to be social more. So Libra will kind of balance a Scorpio out. But if they're really different on worldviews and other views that are important to each of them, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. But if they have a similar, you know, a lot of things in common in their views of the world and friendships and society and relationships, they can be together. I just think it's more like it all depends on the birth charts, honestly, on that one. But like I said, definitely Pisces, definitely Cancer. Just remember, Scorpios, they will strike back at you, and it ain't going to be fun. Um, but I don't think that happens often because of the emotional connectivity. So when you look at, and I'm going a little deeper into this because there's a lot of Scorpios in here, but when you look at a Scorpio, they do what their emotions drive them to do. So if they feel they're emotionally disrespected, and I know there are some signs, especially earth signs and air signs, that are like, what the hell is emotionally disrespected? But there is a, when it comes to water signs and fire signs, there is an emotionally disrespectful. So you have to respect them emotionally. And as long as they're respected emotionally, they usually get along with other signs. Um, and when they do that little snarky strike back that they like to do, they kind of laugh at it, because to them, it's like a, to them, they're being playful, even though they're not being playful. If that makes any sense, let me know, Scorpios. They're really not being playful, but they'll pull it off, try to pull it off as they're being playful and funny. Do I have any Scorpios that want to answer that?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you have one that'll respond.
Let me know if you know what I mean by playful, but not really being playful. Um, Scorpios also tend to like like to like the supernatural, like to be spiritually connected. And although Pisces aren't usually into that, the Cancers are. So that's one thing. It all depends on, like I said, the birth chart. This is just generally speaking. But those are the three that I would put with Scorpios. Scorpios, you want to stay away from Sagittarius. You guys will not usually get along. Sag isn't about feelings. They're about having fun and just being kind. And they are kind of like the ones that either their temper will rise or they'll walk away. The other ones to stay away from are Virgos. Imagine that.
Mhm.
So, and the reason why I stay away from Virgos is because they're not as emotional and they want to settle in. They don't want to be out partying. They don't want to drink every night. They want to work. They want to make money and have big, elaborate things because they saved money. And that's one thing Scorpios usually aren't good at saving money. They like to spend. They are spend people. Um, and that's usually why they will get along with Libra because Libra will stop them from spending and balance them out. And so will Pisces too. Pisces can balance them out a little bit on that. All right, we'll go to, do we have any Sages in here? I don't think we have Sages
I
in
haven't. I don't
here.
think I've seen Sagittarius yet, but just to answer to reply, Jenny, the Scorpio, she agreed. She said it sounds just like me. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I'll just go over Sag real quick. I'd put them, Sagittarius, I'd put them with the Capricorn. Capricorn will settle them in from partying too much and kind of cool them off and ground them a little bit. The Sagittarius likes to party. They like to be the life of the party, and they like to have fun. They like to have fun. They just like honesty and just keeping it real and no drama. And Capricorn's really good for that kind of stuff. And Capricorn could use the socializing that Sagittarius likes to do. I would also put Sag with Gemini if the birth chart is correct, if the birth chart looks good. But more than likely, they would get along with a Gemini very well. Very both into family, both into parties, both into kind of, you know, just all around, and some other things as well that I can't really say. But let's just say on the romantic level, they are very compatible. Let's say Capricorn. Capricorn. We have a Capricorn in here. Buttons. Capricorns I would put with, of course, a Libra. Um, Libras calm them down. Again, they're balanced. So if they get to their temper flares or whatever, they get too into their hissy fits or their temper tantrums, then Libras can kind of cut that off. Libras like, no, you're not doing that. Calm down. No, we're not. We're really not. So Libras can kind of cool Capricorn off, but also appreciate the hard work and the groundedness that they put in to their life. And very traditional. The two of them together is a very traditional relationship and definitely male and feminine roles. And they both embrace it and they both like it.
mhm.
And they're happier and they kind of stabilize each other. Um, Capricorn and Aries can sometimes work too. That depends on the birth chart as well. But um, when they disagree, they're really going to disagree. Really, really going to disagree. Um, so it all depend. That would depend on their tempers and other things as well. But they can be compatible. The other one that can be really good for Capricorn is a Gemini. Capricorns bring more traditional, which makes Gemini feel safe. And Geminis are like, they can settle in and not party. And that's what the Capricorn kind of settles them down. And they have an admiration usually for each other. The other one is Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo. And I put a Capricorn and Virgo together, but I don't put them with the Virgo when I did the Virgo, but I will put them with the Capricorn. And the reason why is they're almost alike. Like seriously, Like they're kind of alike. Like they both like the hard work. They both like the groundedness, the more traditional relationships. However, this is where, and they both admire each other. There's admiration between the two of them that is wonderful. Um, but here's the reason why I didn't put them with the Virgo when I did the Virgo. I think they'll be too grounded. Like I don't
Mm.
think they'll I don't think they'll really do anything but work. Like I think the Virgo will be working and the Capricorn will be working and they might say hi to each other at dinner. I don't I don't think in that respect they're actually going to have to like, and I think eventually the Virgo will get tired of that. The Capricorn won't get tired of that. It's kind of ingrained in them, but the Virgo will get tired of that. And I think the Virgo will be like, all right, I need some romance. I need some this, some that.
Yeah.
And the Capricorn will be like, no, but we're doing like what we're supposed to do. Um, Also, I didn't put Virgo with them before because um, their Capricorns are very traditional in roles in a relationship and how things are done. And I don't know that a Virgo can always bend. So, whether it's a male Virgo or a female Virgo, I don't think they can bend to the traditional roles. I think sometimes they can and sometimes they can't. So, that's why I didn't put the two of them together. But honestly, like as far as admiration and liking for each other and friendship, I think that'd be perfect. I really do. I think they would get along very well. And um, they would have a great time. They'd just both be working at the same time. So they'd both be working at the same time, and both of them would look at each other and be like, what are we doing for dinner? And neither one of them would really have the answer because they'd both be
Yeah.
tired from working. So I just don't know where that would go in the long run in a relationship. I don't think it would go very far, honestly. All right, let's
Yeah.
go.
I can see that. Mm.
Yeah, I don't think it would go very far. Let's do Aquarius. Do you
All
have
right. Well,
any
go. Hey,
Aquarians?
before we move on, real quick,
Mhm.
um, Sandy suggested that like, are you hearing the burping sound or whatever? I think the burping sound is probably the most accurate. Can you hear it at all?
No, can you?
I can hear it. So Sandy suggested that we uh, drop out and come back into StreamYard. So um, if you want to go ahead, I mean, it don't take me 5 seconds, but if you want to go ahead and what are we talking about next? Which one?
Um, Aquarius.
Aquarius. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to miss that, but just give me like 5 seconds. You can go ahead and start, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to see if that'll fix it because if they can hear it on what I'm hearing, then that would make it a difficult stream. So uh,
That's
I'll
disgusting.
be right.
All right.
Mm, all right.
All right.
All right, I'm back. I didn't know that me leaving the studio would that we would lose Psy. She did the same thing. So, all right.
Is that better, everybody?
Um, yeah. So far, yeah, I think that may have done it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my end. So,
Sandy,
okay.
we all good?
Yeah, she said that she's listening, but oh my God, yes. She said yes. Okay, cool.
All
uh,
right.
yeah, I wish I could have done that earlier, but yes. All right.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. So
So
thanks, Sandy.
yeah. All right.
All right.
So where were we? Aquarius.
Aquarius. Aquarius. Um,
Mm.
Aquarius are one of the brats of the zodiac. um, they can be a little difficult, just a little. Um, they need more of a softer touch, a softer hand type thing, more easygoing type partner. And because they are very, their symbol is the star. So they're kind of the star of the zodiac. And um, they can't deal with rigidness. So they kind of, it's kind of like playing a game of Pong on Atari where they have to gently float back and forth kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
They just can't stand someone that is so rigid in thought and rigid in feelings. It really kind of pushes them away. They also are very hard to settle down. Very, very hard. Because they are an air sign, and air signs are hard to settle down to begin with, unless you are more direct with it. Um, they they tend to like and flirt and be friends with a lot of people and have fun, and they tend to not want to settle in a relationship because to them that's kind of like too rigid, too strict. Like there's no give and take there. Like you're either in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, and that feels very claustrophobic to them. um I would kind of pair them with a Scorpio. And the reason why I pair them with the Scorpio is because the Scorpio can bend to that. The Scorpio can flex that. Whereas, like, other signs may have a difficulty doing that. Um, Definitely, Aquarius with a fire sign is a no go. It really is a hard thing. They'll be very fearful, like fearful that they can't be themselves if someone is set on a certain way. But Scorpios are they're kind of flexible in that way, and they can handle an Aquarian's emotions more than other signs can, to be honest with you. I think also, surprisingly enough, this is one air sign I would not put with another air sign. I think an Aquarius with a Gemini would be too would, they would just piss a Gemini off, to be honest with you. And
Eh,
Libra would just be looking for trying to make the Aquarius loyal, and it would be a mess. But I would put them with water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And I think that would fit their more emotional state. But I have to watch with a Cancer because Cancer is like relationships. And if that Aquarius is not willing to settle down, then that could be an issue.
mhm.
So that would be Aquarius. And the
Well, that's
last one
interesting.
is, oh, you have a question? Go
So,
ahead.
yeah, one question about Aquarius. You said it was an air sign?
Yeah.
Huh. See, that's so weird because my kid's an Aquarius, and like I remember looking that up when they were born, and I could have swore that it was always a water sign.
It
Like I
has,
mean, like I've
they
taught for
have like,
18 years. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not. It's air that moves water. Like
Mm.
each zodiac sign stands for something. Like for example, um, Libra is the scales of justice. And the reason why there's the scales of justice because they balance thing out. They balance things out, and they work on balance. And if their life is unbalanced, they freak out. So that is their thing. Each one, the Gemini is the two faces. So sometimes they can be either really nice and then turn around and not be very nice. It's the good and bad of that sign. So each one has their own. The Cancer's the crab. Scorpio is the scorpion because of their little spitefulness and their little clapback and stuff like that. So each one has a symbol. And Aquarius does move water, so sometimes it does show like waves underneath it. And that's why I'd put it with a water sign more than any other sign.
I see. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I just was shocked there for a second. So
no,
yeah.
the air signs are Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sag. And the earth signs are Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus.
Okay. All right.
Does anybody have any questions real quick before we go to Pisces?
I haven't seen any questions yet, or any new questions yet. So.
Okay. So we'll go on to Pisces, the fish, the little fishies. Pisces is the little fishies. They're very family oriented. They are very problem solvers. Definitely problem solvers. They usually like honesty and to say it like it is and not beat around the bush. They don't like other people's feelings being hurt. And that's where the water sign in them comes out. They also are the helpers. So they will want to, like, if somebody needs a place to stay, and they have a Pisces friend, that Pisces will take them in. Pisces just, like, they're all around. And sometimes some Pisces can seem a little flighty, like seem like, like, okay. And it kind of makes other zodiac signs want to protect them a little more because they got that little flightiness to them. But trust me, they can be very intelligent as well. Like, they can be very, very intelligent people. And so who would I put a Pisces with? I'd put a Pisces with a Virgo, and Pisces with Aquarius, Pisces with Pisces. They'd actually work well together, and complement each other pretty good. And that's the romantic compatibility. Friendships matter too, right? So there are significant friendships in the zodiac, and that they are like besties. And that would be Aquarius and Libra. They really kind of hit it off as friends. Pisces and Virgo, even though they can be romantically compatible, they also are good together as friends. The water signs in general all get along with each other. Virgo and Libra as friends, they can usually be very good together. Taurus and like Virgo as friends, good together. If anyone has a specific question about a sign, if they're friends or whatever, I can answer that because if I go through all of them, it's going to take forever.
Yeah.
If anybody has a friend that is a certain sign, your friendship compatibility, I can help you with that.
Yeah, all I can see here is the mind is not a big fan of Pisces.
No,
Pisces had some bad experiences with them, but
I can tell you, the mind, that's because of your birth chart. And Geminis and Pisces are touch and go because Gemini is going to be leery of their genuineness. Gemini sometimes gets on an everybody suspect type keel. Like, like, for them to actually think the person's legit takes a lot. And Pisces is not really going to be playing into that. So Pisces is gonna be like, listen, if you think I'm not legit, then I'm not legit, and I don't like you either, kind of deal. And we'll just call it a day. However, the Pisces Gemini friendship can be big when there's another friend involved, like say a Virgo's involved or a Libra's involved, because the Gemini will kind of calm down a little bit and allow that Pisces to have some type of friendship or connection with them. And once that's started, that Gemini will be like, oh, I just want to talk to Pisces. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want to talk to... But it's the initial factor of actually becoming, becoming friends. So it's that first, like, okay, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I want to trust you. I don't know if you're good or you're bad or you're not good or bad, whatever. And once they get past that, usually they help with a third party, then Pisces will be like, I'll do anything for you. And Gemini would be like, oh, he'll do anything or she'll do anything for me. Okay, well, I want this, that, the other thing, blah, 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 blah. And like all that Pisces will do is be running around doing stuff for the Gemini. And that's not a bad thing because the Gemini will then be admirable to like be thankful for that person. But like I said, usually it needs somebody to step in and be like, no, I like them too, and this is why I like them, and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes total sense. We're just going through so much. It's like sometimes I get overwhelmed with like trying to keep up with all this because I want to learn all this, but like I want to learn about the things that I know about first, but you know what I mean. So like
Well,
yeah, I
that's
get
why
a little
questions are good. Like if you have a question, if anybody in chat has a question, I'd be happy to answer it. Like, and it kind of helps learn little by little. And really, that's what you have to do. Astrology, Western astrology, is so complex, and there's so much that goes into it that if an astrologer throws everything at one time at a person, then they kind of lose interest and they don't want to hear it anymore. So I tend to do it in little spurts.
yeah.
So I wanted to touch on a different part of astrology, which is based on it is a philosophy within astrology, and that is the egos of astrology. So some astrologers, what was that?
Oh, sorry, that was my phone.
Oh.
I thought I'd turn the notifications down.
That sounded like a robot. I was like, there's somebody tapping
Oh
in or
yeah,
something.
it's my text message notification with a question actually from my buddy who's listening, but for some reason the way he listens on his phone in the Brave browser, he says he can't get to the chat. So I just told him to text me
Okay.
if he had a question. So this is my buddy that I was talking to last night. He's an Aries and was asking about the romantic compatibility of Aries and Pisces.
Aries and Pisces usually that's a no. Pisces or Aries can be very rigid in the way they speak, and their temperament can sometimes come off rigid. Pisces usually doesn't want to deal with that. Usually they're like, is it? And really, emotionally, Aries doesn't like a whole lot of emotions, whereas Pisces can like worry about other people's emotions. So that Aries can kind of go off on a tangent and be like, not not say things in the gentle parenting type way. And Pisces would get upset because that's offensive. And so I wouldn't put the two of them together. Aries can have a way of saying things nicely, and they can have a way of not saying things so nicely. And sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it. They're not like the charmers of the zodiac. They are real. Like when they say something, it's pretty real. So and Pisces usually wants everybody to love each other and get along and be nice to each other and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't do the Aries Pisces combo. It doesn't mean that if I take a look at the birth charts that there's not something else there that would supersede that, because we're just dealing with the sun signs, the signs of the sun right now, which is general personality. We get more deep into it, like communication with Mercury's, or uh, love and finances with, why can't I think of my planet's name? Venus. Or even like Jupiter. If those are even Neptune, like if those match up and are compatible, then the sun sign can really be irrelevant. So I would like to do a full compatibility on the two, but generally speaking, I wouldn't put the two together. I would not.
That's interesting.
Sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Well, I think. Well, I mean, I think that's his wife. I mean, not technically. They've been together for like 16 years or 17 years, something like that. And
wow.
As far as as long as I've known them together, they've been pretty compatible. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
they beat the system or something.
Yeah, like I said, there are astrologers out there that would not pair Libra with Capricorn, but it works. So it all depends on the birth chart, really, to go more in depth. But like I could see if Aries is more calm or Pisces is more feisty, the two of them can kind of really kick it in a joking manner, like playfully joking manner. And Pisces likes extravagant things. Aries likes to make money. So they like, they're not really extravagant people, but they do like making money. So they could kind of, I can see where it could hit them off in the birth chart. But generally speaking, on the sun sign version of it, I normally wouldn't put them together.
Interesting.
Pisces is very family oriented, and Aries usually isn't as much family oriented as they are more expressive. Like Aries is going to say something, it's going to be to the point. They're not going to beat around the bush, and they like the one-on-one intimacy. They like the one-on-one. Like if they could get lost in the woods with their partner, they'd be fine normally. So and have no contact with anybody else, they would love it. There are some signs that are like that. Libra is also like that. Capricorn's also like that. Virgo can be like that too. But the Pisces is more family oriented, and usually one, not a super big crowd, but like they want to be the cool person, the cool dad or the cool mom usually, and like joke around and be the problem solver. And I can tell you the one place I could see where Pisces and Aries might clash is the control. But if they establish who's in control of what and are willing to supersede that control to the other person, then I guess it could work. But generally speaking, I wouldn't put them together.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, he just responded, and he said, "You're not wrong." About the oh crap, I can't remember which one he's the Pisces, about the Aries.
Yeah, they can be short-tempered. and they can be like a little direct with their wording. And if a Pisces can handle that and not want to automatically stick up for that person, so say if an Aries is talking to somebody and they're being very direct, and the Pisces is like, well, I don't like how they approach that. I don't like that at all. If they can just step back
Yeah.
and let it be between the two, which Pisces can do, but it's hard for them to do. They typically want everybody to love each other. They are like, everybody just be nice. Just be nice. Say things nice ways.
Yeah, I wish
Don't do
everybody was like that.
anything. Well, yes and no, because you do need the directness sometimes. Some people are thick-headed and don't get it through. But that's also why Virgo and
Yeah.
Pisces work good together, because they'll always say something until you cross a Virgo the wrong way, and it'll be very direct, but in a nice way. Virgos are really good at
Yeah.
what they say, the FUs, the nice FUs, where the person doesn't realize till 5 minutes later that they were just told off. So Virgos are very, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking
That
about.
passive
So,
aggressive.
yeah, just a little or a lot.
Yeah.
And they're good at that FUs, and then the person's like, oh, well, they said this. And they're like, wait a minute, they just told me the hell off in a nice way. Um, so, and I think Pisces would deal with that. They'd be fine with that. They're like, oh, they said it nice, so they said it nice, right?
Exactly.
So as long as they said it nice, where other signs would be like, I'd rather you come direct, because they find that more fake when you do the passive aggressive. So, but typically, yeah, Aries and Pisces, not so much on a generalized level.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I actually do have one more question that I was talking with my buddy with last night, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. And what do you think about? How do you feel about? It had to have been maybe 5 or 6 years ago, where I started hearing this thing about this 13th zodiac sign that either they created or that they're bringing back, or it was something. Um, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Nibiru, the
Like,
Nibiru sign. Um,
okay, and
well,
then and that's part of the Western,
it is because the what do they call it? The dark planet, the planet you can't see a lot, and whatever, blah blah blah.
right? Nibiru,
I
yeah,
think Nibiru, some people call it the Omega. Um, that's made its way into our solar system, so they want to count it in. However, the problem with that is how how it would work. So the zodiac is even number; it's 12, and how that would fit a 13th in there, like who would be their twin? Who would be? I don't know. And honestly, I think sometimes they do those things because somebody isn't happy with the zodiac is. I think it's just a way,
hmm
like to have. I think there's certain people out there that just aren't happy with the sign or the birth chart that they're born under, and so whereas some people are very proud of the zodiac sign that they are, and embrace it, some people also have the opposite because they tried to fit Nibiru in. And honestly, the Western zodiac did not go, like the community and other astrologers were like, no, it doesn't make any sense. And it's not really, you know, affecting us that we have found. Like there are certain things throughout history that we know have affected us from other planets, physically, emotionally, especially the moon emotionally, magnetism wise. Until there's more scientific proof of everything and how Nibiru affects us in the scientific way, the physical way, um, and the planetary ways, because we have to keep in mind that the Western zodiac was created from the ancient Samaritans. It does date back to there. And we just don't know how much Nibiru really affects us. And I'd like to say every planet affects us, and I do say that a lot, but we don't know enough about it to add it in. And if we add it in and make another sign, and I think they were calling it Omega, it just doesn't, like, it wouldn't make sense. There would be, like, how does it affect us? Like, we know for a fact when Mercury's in retrograde, that crap does actually affect things on Earth. When the moon has an eclipse or a full moon, that actually does affect us. The magnetism of the sun actually does affect us. Venus is big for light and lighting up, and I think that's why they kind of figure it as um, the love and the money factor of it. So these planets have always been like scientifically proven of how they affect the Earth and how they affect people on Earth, whereas Nibiru has not. We don't have enough information on it, but I think it's because they also came with the calendar's wrong and people are thinking they're a sign that they normally aren't. And I think a lot of those theories come up either to doubt the Western zodiac or to sow doubt in people or just try to change it so they're a different sign. And I think that the Western astrology and astrologers are pretty well rooted. We're rooted back to ancient times. So we have our roots. Like, we don't have to extend any more roots. But I do
Yeah.
understand that was a big talk like several years ago. And I think like the professional Western astrology people were like, no, we're not doing that. We don't know enough about it. We don't know enough about that planet and how it affects us. So we're not going to change an ancient religion basically because you guys saw another planet in the solar system. Again, a lot of the ancient zodiac had to do with seasons and stuff like that, and all different reasons why it's rooted, because they felt like it was gods to them. Like, they weren't just constellations like they are to us. They were gods. And to break down that religion, and because it was before one god religion, and to break that down would kind of try to uproot history. And I don't think the Western zodiac people who have really studied it and are professionals at it would do that because of the roots that it goes back to. And the same thing with changing it
Yeah.
because of, you know, the differences in calendars and stuff like that. I don't think they would do that, honestly. It is something when you're dealing with something that dates back to ancient times, and that was used actually as a religion, and they don't want to mess with that. They don't. It's no longer a religion to modern day people. It's either for entertainment or for those who are into astrology. It's an explanation. Um, but the roots of it do go back to a religious root.
Yeah, I was wondering because it popped up, and I looked into it, and it would have changed me from a Virgo to a Leo. It would have changed a lot of people's signs, and then it kind of just faded away. Like I only heard it talked about for a couple years, and then it's just kind of not there anymore, or it faded out. So I was just curious what your thoughts were on that, since you had since you've been into it longer than I have, and know way more about it. So
Yeah,
yeah, so I was just curious.
I think that the Western astrology people, whoever they are, the professionals, the ones that make the decision on some of this astrology stuff and how it comes from, I don't think they're going to budget. I really don't. And the reason why is because it's ancient religions. It's a part of ancient religion, and it's kind of saying like, you know, mythology and adding another character into mythology. They're not going to want to do that into Greek mythology or to, um, the Roman mythology. They're not going to want to, because they're all similar. Like if you look at Venus and what it stands for in the zodiac wheel, it stands for similar things in ancient Greece. The goddess, uh, you know, uh, that is Venus in ancient Greek, and also the goddess. They are named different, but they stand for the same thing. The god of Venus, all three of them stand for the same thing. So this dates back to ancient times. And I think just trying to upset that because another planet's close by, I don't think they're going to do that because they couldn't explain it in Roman. Like, how are you going to explain that in ancient Roman mythology and um, Roman mythology? They're all tied. Like,
Yeah.
I think Athena is the god of war in in Greek, and it's the same thing. And if you look it up, what it means on the zodiac wheel, it's Mars, and it's Aries zodiac sign. So it's like there are a lot of commonalities between the mythologies and the uh, Western zodiac.
Yeah, I never learned much about the about mythology in the Roman or Greek mythologies
Yeah.
because that was all bad according to the school I grew up in. So I just never learned anything about it until probably the last 18 years. Like when my kid got into it a little bit and uh, would tell me, and I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I had no idea, but it's all fascinating too. Yeah, it just seemed weird that such an old study or something that's been around for so long would just automatically add like a 13th sign into like I mean something that hasn't changed in thousands of years, and then trying to throw something new in there. So
Well, here's interesting thing. So Orion, which is where they now say Earth is planted in, right? Orion actually has ties with Capricorn. So it's like, what do you? I don't see how that would, how if you change it and add something different, what god are you going to make it? Because the Greek mythology is pretty much, or the ancient Greek religion, the multi god religion, is actually pretty settled. You know what I mean? We know what it is. There are pictures all over about it, right? We've made movies about it. We have done a lot of things when it comes to that. We have learned about it throughout time, and it's been around for a long time. So if we go changing the zodiac, which is tied to ancient Rome and ancient Greece, then we're kind of upsetting the whole shebang. And I think actually that could be a reason why they wanted to add a 13th, because it would kind of change Greek mythology, ancient Greek religion, and ancient Roman religion. So, and you know how they like
yeah,
to change things sometimes just to confuse people. And I think it wasn't widely, like if I say, oh, the general personality, which is the sun sign, and a specific sign is like this, and it is kind of similar. Like, yeah, my general personality is like that. So what are you going to try to change the person to make it a different sign? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm a Libra.
yeah,
I'm
right.
not a Scorpio, right? I'm not a Scorpio. I'm no very, very different. Very different in a lot of ways. And the same thing with you, Leos and Virgos are different. And they're not the same. They're can have similarities, and especially those that are born on the cusp, like yourself. But there are very, very different things about them that make them unique. And to just be like, okay, now you're a different sign. Would you want the person to change their personality? I don't really understand that way of thinking, but I think either it was because they just didn't like it, or they're trying to debunk it, or because Nibiru is, became closer to Earth. I'm not quite sure what the motive was, but as for right now, there's only 12, and and I think honestly think it's going to stay that way because of the
Yeah, I was
ties
gonna
to
say,
ancient
yeah,
religion.
yeah. I think you're right. It's gonna
Yeah.
stick with 12. I don't think it's gonna take off get that 13th. Sorry about that. I had to cough.
They're okay. So, any more questions about the zodiac?
I don't see any more questions about the zodiac or any really questions in general. They're kind of talking about the
Okay.
mythology a little bit, but yeah, I think we can go on.
Okay. So I do want to offer. I do birth charts. I do not charge for them, but you need to be at least present for an hour to 2 hours, either through Discord, StreamYard, or over the phone. But I do block my number for reasons. And so if you want a birth chart reading, is it Jeannie or Jenny? Because she
Jenny.
seemed really anxious. Is she still here? Are you still here?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen her in the chat for a minute, but she's probably still listening.
All right. If you want a birth chart reading, you can just contact me. Josh, can you put my email up?
I can.
Okay.
And actually, and speaking of which, I also put your link for your channel
Okay.
in the pinned comment. So everybody, after we finish up here, go over or if you can do it in a different tab while you're still here listening, go check out Psy's channel and give her a sub. And I'll put your email in right now.
Okay. So I do, like I said, I
All
do
right.
not charge for birth chart readings. They do get personal when I put down information. I'm not judging. I'm just saying the information. As I say, and those who I've done birth charts for, I drop the truth and I leave. I drop what it is and I go. I will answer questions as I go, but I will not debate. I will not debate with you. So if you don't like what it has to say, then take it or leave it. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe everything, but I can give the information that I get from it, and that's basically it. But you do definitely need 1 to 2 hours, and if you have a lot of questions, you will need more than 2. Some people like to ask a lot of questions. I just couldn't believe you didn't ask that many questions. I was like, that was the fastest birth chart ever did. And I was like, okay. But
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm new to this, and I was a bit overwhelmed.
no,
So
it's no
yeah.
problem. If I'm unsure about something or I see something, I usually say I'm unsure. Depending on your age, I will also say this is something you have worked on, or this is something you can work on, or this is something you may want to keep watch for with your personality. I do not do typically birth charts of other people that you know, because there can be personal things in there that maybe you shouldn't be privy to. But if you want a compatibility type thing, I can do that. But to get deep into somebody else's birth chart, I don't do that. I do need where you were born and your date of birth. The time, it can matter and it can't matter, but most of the time it doesn't make that much of a difference, to be honest with you. So I don't really need the time. I need your date of birth and where you're from and where you were born. Not where you're from, but where you're born. And a way to contact you and to um, set up where I can deliver it to you. I do not do it in writing because there are some things that come through that you may not understand. And I'm not going to send 50 emails back and forth. I like to get it done in one shot. Once I'm done with the birth chart, I do not save them. So I do request that you write them down on a piece of paper with a pencil or whatever, or type them up in Word for all I care. But however you do it so that you have it for you. Because if you come back months later, I'm not going to have your birth chart. It's not really
Right.
for me. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
might be able to take the time, look it up again, and do it again, but I can't do it every time you think of a question. You know what I mean? That's a little much.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That would take forever. Mm.
Yeah, I'd be constantly doing your birth chart every time you have a question. So I don't keep them. Everything's confidential, and um, I do take feedback as well. If you feel I was too fast or I didn't explain something enough or something like that, you can say I don't understand, that kind of thing. Try to explain it to you differently.
Yeah. It sounds good.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
You brought up my channel. My channel is for Mandela affected people or people that are new to Mandela effects and have personal Mandela effects. Personal Mandela effects, in my opinion and opinion of some other people, they kind of hit a little differently. It's like one thing if you see something change, a building or a sign or a logo change, and it can definitely affect you in some way, but when you actually have a family member or a loved one or a friend that they're just not the same, and it really seems when it happens to hit right away. It's not a like, oh, well, this person just changed over time. It seems like you wake up and you don't recognize the person that's next to you. Not they may physically look like themselves, but personality wise they've changed, or um, you can tell they don't have the same memories as you of personal things, or the same way of thinking that they used to have, or you feel your connection is no longer there, um, or is struggling to be there and you don't know why. um, and when I mean that, I mean it does happen, and it really seems like it happens overnight. It is not a gradual change. um, for those who have watched Wake Up or Else, he spoke a lot about divorces happening because of the Mandela effect. Family members that have kind of been alienated from each other because of the Mandela effect. Those are our personal Mandela effects, and I think there's people that are, especially people that are new or that are still going through it, um, kind of need a spot to talk to others about it, and that they're not the only ones that it's happening to, and
Cool.
also how you
Yeah. And
dealt
speaking of
with it.
Mandela, yeah. Sorry. Speaking of Mandela effects, Sandy Diva just popped in. I'd send her the link to come in and give us an update on her show afterwards.
Hello.
Hey, Sandy, how you doing?
Good. How are you
Hello.
guys? Hi.
Hi.
So I was just saying, take your time. The show's set for 12:30, not 12, because I saw you guys. You were still. I didn't want to and like make you guys quickly end the show. So you have time.
That's
Oh,
nice.
yeah. No, yeah, it's all good.
Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at your compatibility chart. I've
Yeah.
literally never dated any of those signs under my compatibility except for Sagittarius. None of the others.
Well, I didn't actually look at the chart that he put up, but um, Leo, you're Leo, right?
Yep,
Sagittarius is a good one for Leo. Just
it was.
saying.
Well, that was my first love,
Yeah,
So
a good one for Leo. Libras can be sorta, kinda. Um,
I don't know. Joey's
but
a Cancer.
you need someone that will celebrate you, girl. That's what Leos need. They need the attention. You guys need the attention. Start a show and
I must have other things in my chart because I have no problem being left alone as
I
much as
don't
possible.
no, I don't mean you need to be in a crowd, but when you do like being like admired, you know what I'm saying? It's part of a Leo. It's part of like being liked is definitely part of a Leo. And you guys are so creative and do so many different things. Kind of like, you know,
I don't know.
they
I'm like
have
one of those people that I don't want the center of attention on me at all. Like,
I would have to look at your chart because
yeah, at all.
that's unusual for Leos because usually Leos do like that attention. They do like to be the star of the show, kind of deal to where they are kind of, you know, they don't like disappointing people.
Oh no,
They
that's
really
true.
don't.
Oh,
They
that
really
is so
don't like
true.
disappointing people. They want the admiration from people. Like, oh, you're the best, or the best at this and the best at that, and they kind of
No,
feed off of it. It's not like a bad thing. It's what feeds them. It makes them feel better
no. For
because
me, it's I don't want to let people down.
Leos are usually hard on their self-esteem. So they usually that's why they like the admiration. It helps them. It makes them feel better. Usually their self-esteem, if they don't have people celebrating them or someone celebrating them or a special someone celebrating them or a special connection with someone, then they can kind of be a little hard on themselves. And that's usually, but I wouldn't mind looking at your chart for you if you want. But that's usually typical Leo. They do get hard on themselves from time to time. And having somebody really lift them up and make them feel better and let them be the star. Let them shine. Because they are creative. They're one of the most creative in the zodiac. With what they can come up. I've seen Leos come up with some stuff, especially Christmas decorations, that I would never even think of doing. And stuff. Seriously, I've seen them where they go all out. Like, I know one person actually had a tree in every room of their house with a different theme, and I'm like, girl, that is too much work for my ass. I'm not doing that. And it was all pretty. I mean, it was all like perfect, and their house decorating, like, it was all perfect. And I'm like, yeah, I like nice things, and I'm an aesthetic person, but that's too much damn work for me. It's arts and crafty and stuff, and I'm just like, if I can't get it done in the same day, I lose interest. And so
Funny
they
that you
are,
brought that up because before I got sick, that was my thing. Like I loved decorating for holidays.
yeah,
I loved it.
like I would hire a Leo to do that, honestly, because after I saw like the tree in every room and every tree was a different color and a different theme, and I'm thinking
Well, that's too much for me too.
like
That's too much.
I'm just saying it's an example, but it was just like over the top, and they were good at it. It all looked beautiful. Like it looked absolutely beautiful. I'm just saying, I I couldn't see myself like
But
I'm lucky.
I would bet the reason for that was, and it might be a Leo thing, I don't know. But I could I could I would love Christmas lights all year long. They're just so pretty. They put like such a nice glow in the room. It doesn't have to be all like rainbow color lights. It could be just the white ones. But the
Yeah,
light from Christmas lights is so pretty that maybe that's why they had a tree in every room.
I think it might have been like me. I'm like, okay, I light them up usually from the end of October to the end of January. After that, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of turning them on and off. I want to clean. I've had enough.
See,
So
what
I'm
I used
not.
to do was I would decorate. We have a metal railing because, you know, the front door's downstairs and you come right up the steps. And then
I
there's a
lived up there,
metal
so
railing.
I know how they
Yeah.
are.
So I would put lights on the railing. I would put lights around the entertainment center. So that way you could leave lights up and take the tree down. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't look weird in
I
May
did.
to have lights because
I
it's not
did
on a
that.
tree.
I did the outside lights one time, and then I was done. I was like, that's too much work.
Oh no.
You can't get it all done in one day. And that's why we all have our traits. You know what I mean? Everybody has their
And that's
traits.
what makes me so sad. Like when we were growing up, almost every house was decorated. There were Christmas lights everywhere. And now there's no lights anymore.
Nope.
You
No
might have like
lights.
one or two houses that are competing against each other, and then there's like no houses for like the next half block with a single light. It's crazy.
Well, I know, like,
Yeah.
where I'm from in Philly, they actually we used to do joint lights.
The
Do
ones
you
that
know what
go
I'm
across the
saying?
street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff. Not necessarily across the street, but like the neighbors kind of matched. Like everybody
Okay.
had their windows done on the whole street, and we used to go to Christmas. Like we could drive down the street, and there would all be like Christmas everything outside.
Oh, are you talking about Miracle on 13th Street?
Like that, but we used to have like mini versions of it in the neighborhood
Okay.
where it'd be like everybody. I mean, they had like tons of displays out, and it's kind of like the neighbors matched each other because they'd all have so many outside decorations that you could actually drive through it with like we used to have cocoa and stuff and drive through it, and it was beautiful. But me doing that, yeah, no, 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 not at all. But I really do think like a lot of things are pertaining to Leo, and one of them is they do have sometimes are harder on themselves because they're perfectionists. They like everything
Yeah.
perfect, and because they
Yeah.
like everything perfect, and they put so much work into it for it to be perfect. If they don't get that wow factor, they do start to get hard on themselves. So that's what I mean when they need praise. Like they need to be lifted up. And like whereas like certain signs will be compatible with that and certain signs won't. Like if you're looking for a grandstand from like some like oh wow from like a tourist, you're not going to get it.
That's
But
my
you'll get it
mom.
from yeah, but you'll get it from like a Gemini would be right there. Well, why don't we do this? And you'll be like, yeah, I'll do this and I'll do that too. And yeah, I'll do this over here. What do you think? Collaborating. Gemini and Leo, they're both creative, and they both have that creative nature to them, and they both love it. They love creating stuff, whether it be arts and crafts and so they value each other in that. I don't know if you've ever dated a Gemini, but usually,
Nope. That's what I said. I've never dated any of them except for Aquarius.
um,
But I've had friends. Like one of my best friends in grade school was a Gemini. The other
yeah,
one was a Taurus.
Gemini and Leo usually are great. Now, Taurus will be good because they got their pom poms going usually, but they also like to be pom pom too, and it can get a little much between the two. But really, Gemini is one of the best for Leo, and it will push a Leo. They'll push a Leo to think outside their comfort zone.
Let me
And
ask you. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you a question.
yeah,
Off topic before we go any further. Did you know what I was talking about when I mentioned that street with the lights?
Yeah, I
Are you
did
familiar with
actually.
it? You
I'm
did.
familiar with that, yeah, and also they do a lot in South Philly. Italians, of course, we do a lot, you know.
Okay.
But
Well, most people, when I presented that Mandela effect, they don't know it because they're not familiar with the city. What would you have called it? Miracle on 13th Street, or would you actually call it Miracle on South 13th Street?
South 13th,
You would call it South.
yeah.
You see,
And the
I
reason
know
why,
it's on South 13th, but I never called it that. I don't remember it being called that. And that's
because
why I
we
say,
called everything north and south. Like I'm from the northeast, technically, even though it's Frankfurt. But like, there's two parts of the northeast, near and far, and near and far northeast. So everything growing up in Philly, everything had like there's South Philly, and then there's Southwest Philly, and there's West Philly.
oh,
So
I know, but
everything,
like we don't, we like if someone lives on South 8th Street, I don't say South. I just say they're on 8th Street.
yeah,
You see
we
what I'm saying?
always
Like,
use the south because like once you cross, it depends on what neighborhood, but once you cross a certain street, like you are, it is considered like north and south or east
oh
and
yeah,
west.
no, it is. It absolutely is. But
And I think that's how, because we all walked everywhere and took buses everywhere. So, like, if you send someone down the south part of
I
it,
think
but
it's
the
because we're
stores on
so
the
far
north,
from north. We are so far from north that it doesn't even apply here.
it may not. Yeah, South Philly is its own thing, honestly. Um, it's always been its own thing now, and it's kind of like, but we learned, we were taught in school to to name everything a direction. Like that's how I
That's
know there's
interesting.
far northeast and near northeast. Um, they kind of had a plot of Philadelphia and they separated it into sections, and we had to actually name whether it was south, east, west, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
And
there's
I think
also
that was,
Southwest Philly. There's
yeah, Southwest Philly, and there's West
West Philly.
Philly,
Yeah,
and
Philly's
a lot
huge.
of it is huge. It is a big city. It is a big city. Like I think if we were going down to South Philly, we're going to Oregon Diner.
I used to work
Honestly,
there.
most of the times, I used to go there a lot at night.
That's when I
It
worked
was
there. I worked there on the night shift. It was horrible.
it was kind of after my drinking day, like my drinking. It was like, all right, let's go. If we were on South Street, we went to Oregon Diner. Um,
Which is strange because I also worked at the South Street Diner, and the South Street Diner would have been closer.
yeah,
You went all the
and
way to Oregon.
well, typically Aramingo Diner would have been closer because it was closer to where I lived. So, but we used to
Yeah,
go down. I think it was just for the thrill of it and be like, hey, let's go down South Philly, right? Because we were kind of
gotcha.
told not to go in another neighborhood. So like we didn't go in West Philly. We didn't typically go in South Philly. We were told to stay within our own neighborhood by adults.
See, in Jersey, we came to Philly to go to Nifty 50s.
Really?
Nifty
I think
50s. It was a. Have you
I
been there?
remember. Yeah, I've been there. I think I went there once or twice. But if I went
That's
to
on Oregon Ave
Jersey,
now.
if I went to Jersey, I either went to Wildwood, Cape May, Atlantic City. But if I went to, I had a lot of friends in Collingswood,
That's where I grew
Oakland,
up. That's where I lived.
Collingswood,
I lived in Oakland.
Oakland. Um, what's the other one? Right on White Horse Pike. I forget that one.
Audubon, Westmont, and Township.
Westmont. I think it was Westmont. So I had a cousin that lived in Collingswood. So I would go to Collingswood with her.
What's your cousin's name?
I don't want to say it
No, the first
because we're
name.
well, the one that's probably around our age, Linda.
All right, I didn't see. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know any Linda, so I didn't know her.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking what the first name was.
But like my sister lived in Cherry Hill in Oakland, so if I went to, I didn't really venture off into Camden and stuff like that.
Oh gosh, no! Don't go there. No.
No, I mean, anything I could usually get from the Betsy Ross, because that was my favorite bridge. So,
Mine too.
so it is. It's like the best bridge, and nobody takes it, and that makes it
Empty
even
and
better.
big. It's the greatest
Empty and
one.
big, the greatest one. It really
Mhm.
is. Like I didn't go over to Walt Whitman at all. Ben
That's the
Franklin
one
maybe.
that I live closest to, and I use the most. Well, I would
Uh,
use the most. My mom was the bottom of it, so.
I couldn't stand that. And the traffic backed up, and all those cars. And that
There's a
that
casino there now, so
is
it's
that really?
really bad. Yeah.
When I lived up there, I think one of the last casinos was the Sugar House, and I went there one time, and it was bad. I didn't like the Sugar House casino. But I usually, even when I go up to visit, I go to parks.
Well, Xfinity Live is
Oh
the
wow.
casino, right next to the ballparks.
I think that's what killed AC. And that killed Atlantic City.
It did. It killed it.
But Atlantic City I used to go to a lot too. Um,
I did too, like in my 20s.
yeah, I did. I'm a huge casino person. You know, we only have one casino down here because casinos are illegal down here, and you can only have them on Indian reservations. So that one casino we have down here in the state is about 4 hours away, and it is the most expensive casino that I've ever been at in my life. And I've been to Vegas, Atlantic City, and all the ones in Pennsylvania that were there when I was there. And it's the most expensive. It's $500 a night
Oh my
before
goodness.
taxes and hotel charges. 500. Now you would think you were staying at a four. It's not a 4-star. It's a typical regular casino like it used to be in Atlantic City. It's not anything grand. But yeah, it's 500 a night.
I only
And
stayed in Atlantic City once, so I would have nothing to compare it to.
I used to go get comped rooms because I spent too much money.
Oh, no. We would just drive down for the day and then go home.
No, we used to take bus trips. Like
Uh-huh.
they used to have bus trips from Philly that would
I
you pay
remember.
$20, you get $10 and food voucher and $10 and free play. So you basically were spending it at the casino. So I did a lot of that in my 20s. A lot more than I probably should have. And um so it's kind of hard down here because there's no casinos. And the only one that's down here that is in the state. There's one that's right above us in a different state, but that's the same thing. It's ultra expensive and like honestly, I don't know. And the win-loss ratio is, or the loss ratio, the ratio between winning and
Mhm.
losing is very high on the losing end.
Yeah,
I
because
never,
there's
yeah,
no competition to make you go there, so they
I
don't
went
need to make
through,
you win.
like $600 in an hour on penny slots.
Oh
And
my
Oh wow.
gosh.
lost everything. And I said the that's the shortest time I've ever been to a casino, and that's the most money I've lost in that amount of time. Because I don't play like the $5, $10 spins. I play like $1, $2, $3 maybe. I don't play high bets and to lose that much in an hour. I mean, my like I'm very well at casinos. I know the casino racket kind of deal. So I'm kind
Mhm.
of like from being Atlantic City, being at parks, being at Sands up in Bethlehem and stuff, and the one down in Chester, and I've went to Vegas about 6 to 10 times. So I'm kind of, and I went to Atlantis, which has a casino in it. So I've been around casinos a long time, and I've never seen a loss that big, that short of amount of time.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. I only went because my ex-husband liked going. But I mean, I had fun while I was there. I just, you know, it wasn't like I needed to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just something I did when I was younger, and I was kind
Mhm.
of hooked at 21. I won a lot of money down AC and kind of got hooked into it at the age of 21. And it was my excitement. I drank at bars and went to the casino, but I didn't go anywhere else or do anything. So I was home most of the time. So it was like my special nights out
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger. And then I grew up and I had to pay for my own stuff. And then it was, no. Casinos
Fun
aren't that
takes a
much
back
fun.
burner.
Yeah, it does. It kind of took, like I said, we went to the one that's in the other state by us, and we kind of looked at each other. I was like, that was a lot of money to lose in an hour. And
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about it. And I was like, okay, we're not going back. We're staying far away from there.
Don't blame you at all. My goodness. That's a lot of money to lose, period, let alone in an hour.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Oh my gosh. I'd be
Nuts.
devastated. I would never
Now-
bring that much money to a casino because I don't trust casinos. Like they set you up to lose. You know, like the odds are
Yeah.
so stacked against you.
It is. It really is. It's not like I seen that with Parks, but Parks was pretty even win. It was pretty. They were pretty good actually because Pennsylvania is regulated, so it was pretty like the win losses. But I used to go to Parks before it was actually built, and they just had one room. I don't know if you remember that, but they didn't
No, 'cause
have
I
the
haven't even
huge.
been to Parks. I haven't even been to Parks.
They didn't have the huge casino that they had now. It was basically like a set-up tent, and they had very limited number of slot machines and tables. And I used to go there usually after work to de-stress. It was like my de-stressing thing in Bethlehem and a park. So it was like, but they are more regulated than some other states. And the state that we went in, the two states that I went that are different, that are newer to me and different, they're not regulated as well. And you can definitely feel the blow of it financially. So there's a lot of things I miss. I miss like scratch off tickets in Pennsylvania. I tried to play the Pennsylvania lottery, but since I'm not a resident anymore, they didn't let me.
Well, you could play it. It's that if you win anything, you have to come back here to claim it. That's the problem.
No, they wouldn't let me because of the state I'm in.
Oh.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They said you cannot because the Pennsylvania lottery has a website that you can place everything on and stuff.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, and they're like because my the connection to their server was from out of state, they wouldn't let me.
Oh.
And because see, it's weird down here because casinos are illegal down here. Like that's why they're only allowed on Indian reservations. But they have these things that I never saw in my life until I moved down here, and they're called game rooms. And they are similar to casinos, but they're all strategy. So it looks like a slot machine, and you have to make a decision on what way the wheel goes up and down. Like it'll have like 3 wheels on the slot machine, and one wheel will have like an arrow pointing which way do you want to move it up or down. But the weird thing about it, they're called skills games, like SKILL or SKILZ or whatever it is. Skills games.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to cash out,
Mm-hmm.
it spins a wheel like Wheel of Fortune. And if you don't hit the button on cash out, you lose everything.
Oh my gosh.
So even though you won something on it, doesn't mean it'll pay you out.
That's horrible.
Unless it lands on the cash out. So if that wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune wheel, comes up and you hit it, I was so mad. I lost like $15 in that, and that was it. I wouldn't play them again. I was like, because I'm arguing with the guy, Gotta love the Philly attitude when you get pissed off. So I'm arguing with the guy, and I'm like, but I cashed out. So why didn't it print the ticket? And he's like, because that wheel didn't land on cash out. I was like, that's some BS.
That is hard.
I was
That's
like,
really hard. Oh my
I
gosh.
was like, thank God it was only $15. I was like, if that was like 100 or hundreds of dollars, I'd have been really fucking fuming. Excuse my language, but I'd have been really pissed off. And he's
Mhm.
like, yeah, if it doesn't land on cash out, you're done. You don't get it.
That's pretty much setting you up to fail. There's no way you could win. Like
Exactly.
that's like those games at like Dave and Buster's where it's the light. You have to stop the light at the exact spot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It spins really fast.
Yeah, I've been to Dave and Buster's plenty of
Yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Stackers.
Mm-hmm.
But then they have these tables, and they call them fish tables. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of them. But fish tables, it's like an old. Remember Pac-Man tables that you used to sit at? Remember them from back in the day?
Oh, yeah. I love
It's like
those
a
things.
the pack tables. So it's like a table like that, and it sits anywhere from 6 to 12 people, and you basically, it's similar to shooting asteroids, like it's Atari, but you're shooting at like fish or different animals and stuff. And how it works is each shot you take, which the shots go fast, is like 5-10 cents, or depending on what you set the thing on, and you sit and fight with other people to get these different animals that are worth money. So like you may have a crab that's worth $10, and all of you are hitting that crab, and whoever lands the kill shot gets the $10. Tell me that's not a racket.
I don't even understand it. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like playing an arcade game with other people where you're versing other people. So it's like, but you're versing 12 people at the same time, and whoever ends the kill shot on the item wins all the money. But there's
Yeah,
no,
no, no way.
yeah, it's in like we've played on those several times, and it's like as soon as they see you going after something, they go after it too. Even though there's a lot on the table that they could go after that's even worth more, they'll always go after what you're going after because they want to take it from you.
Mhm.
It becomes like a competition. I think it's either a Japanese or Chinese game. If you look it up, they have like the fake versions of it, the no money versions of it online. Look up fish tables and to see it. It's absolutely crazy, but it's paid when they play it for real money. And I've done that several times, and I just got pissed off. I was like, if I'm playing a game for money, I don't want to verse anybody else.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The computer is one thing, but I don't want to fight the computer and 12 other people.
Yeah, the computer is bad enough.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
But I'm sorry for derailing your show, Josh. All I did was
You're
ask about Mandela, and we
It's
went
all
down
right.
a whole other
Yeah.
track.
Yeah,
It's all right.
it's only delaying your show. So,
Oops.
Yeah. It's okay.
but yeah, speaking of
We're
which, I
always
can't believe
late.
how the time has flown. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
that's true. But
Yeah,
but yeah,
Sandy,
so
if
real
you want me
quick
to,
before we wrap it up, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Sandy, if you want
Go
me
ahead, Si.
to
Yeah.
do your birth chart for you, I will.
Yeah, it's just hard because of the hour that you need. Because I'm awake at very, very odd times. That's the problem. When
Okay.
I'm awake, I'm usually doing family stuff, like stuff that I have to do around the house. So
No, I
eventually,
appreciate it.
we'll say
Yeah,
eventually.
so I'm usually free like Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday nights.
And those are my worst nights because of the shows.
Right.
Those are the worst nights.
That's why I'm usually not on your shows during the week because I'm doing
Yeah.
stuff. But Those are the times I'm usually free. But maybe if you get
Like,
a chance.
that's when I tell my friends that I talk to, like Curiouser and stuff. I'm like, I'm not available those days because I'm working on the shows constantly. But
if you
if
find
I wake
time,
up
definitely.
early one day, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what were you going to say, Josh? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say here to wrap it up. I wanted to get back in because we were starting to talk about Psy's channel, and so and what it's about, and it's I find it very fascinating just because it's a different type of Mandela that not a lot of channels talk about, and that's the personal changes, the people changes, the stuff like that, not just the logos and that kind of stuff. And there's not really a whole lot of places for people. And we were talking about one time, me and Psy were about how there was, like, when I came into the community around 2017, it seemed like there was two different sets of Mandela channels, and there was a group that that were all friends, and then there was another group that were all friends, but it seemed like there was never any crossover. And and I'm just like hearing about a lot of them now, and I'm like, where were these people when I first found the Mandela effect? And they were there, we just never found them. So I think this is a good place.
It's funny that you should mention that. We're going to be reacting to a Mandela effect video today. It's a girl, I've never heard of her, and yet she says in the video something to the effect of, "We in the Mandela effect community." I'm thinking, you're in the Mandela effect community? I've never heard of this person. So I'm curious. I'm really curious if you guys have. And they have like almost 5,000 subscribers. And
wow.
Never heard of her. Never. So I'm
yeah,
curious.
right.
Like, I never heard of you until I started going back on props. I knew of Patrick because of somebody else from Jay Chris's stream, but I didn't know about him before that. And that's where I met Prop. So it was like, but I have seen, like, I know some of the people from the other streams that I've talked to on Discord, they have at least lurked on your show if they're not saying anything in chat. I think they're a little shy. Like, I saw Darkslayer on there.
Yeah, Darkslayer's been coming to my shows for a while.
Yeah, so I was telling him about your show and stuff like that. And
he
like
was going to Brian
others.
McFarlane.
Okay, that's where I had never even heard of Brian McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've heard of him, but not like as I've heard of in passing, but I've never saw his stream. But like, I started out with April, which she's no longer around. Like, and she no longer does live streams or anything. And Danny, who is with RTS Earth. And I don't think you guys even have you ever heard of Danny?
Danny.
I haven't.
I might.
It used to be on YouTube, removing the shackles.
No.
And then she has her own website. Like that's RTS Earth. And she was big. Now she talks a lot about different other stuff. Like current events type stuff. But her show has people from all over the world, and they all go live together. And like a kind of like she sometimes has 12 people on there at a time. And they're all from all different parts of the country. And she's also one of the beginning ones that I started to watch with the Mandela effect. She doesn't talk about it at all anymore, but she used to. Now she just does current events. But April and the one chick that was also a psychic, those were the first two I saw, and then Jacob of Israel I saw, and finally I got over to the 444, and I was there till he stopped streaming. And then I kind of felt, okay, nobody else is talking about this. I was like, all right, I guess it's done.
No, it's just
So
YouTube doesn't show you all the channels talking about it.
yeah, there's like
I don't get, like, their algorithm is horrible. Their search is the worst. It
yeah, if
really
you
is.
search it, it's usually somebody doing a TikTok video type thing.
Mhm.
Like if you search Mandela Effect, just that, it always brought up like TikTok videos of them talking about it, but it never brought up an actual channel that people. I learned Wake Up or Else actually poofed up on my recommended list. EYA I used to be big into too. But then she left YouTube, went somewhere else, and then I stopped. But really, my main one was the 444 for J. Chris. And that's where I was at the most and the longest. But when April, and nobody seems to know who April is.
I don't know who
April
April is.
was the first one that I found, Mandela Effect, and Regato Bonner. Do you know him?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And then he stopped doing a lot of streams.
He used to go to Brian McFarlane's show too. Except
Oh, he did?
we would call him Regato, but yeah.
Regato. Well, he did a Skype call with Jay Chris, and that's how I subscribed to him. But then he stopped doing videos like a couple of years ago, I think. So it's just weird. Actually, a lot of the feeling was that there wasn't enough female people doing shows in the Mandela community. So I was glad to actually find you. You know what I mean? Like, no offense, Josh. It just seemed a little like a lot of the men were doing the Mandela Effect stuff. I'm like, I'd like to listen to a female actually say something. You know what I mean? So it was kind of nice.
I don't do a very good female voice.
I'd like to hear that one. But
Nope.
I bumped the show to 12:45, everyone, so it's okay.
yay.
We're okay.
All right.
It's 12:30.
It is.
That means
12:30.
1:15 really.
Oh no.
Oh, dude.
We have so much to cover tonight. It's so long. Oh no.
Well, we'll wrap this up here, and my stuff is more about personal Mandela effects and people that basically just need some place to talk about them, and or listen to other people talk about them. Not feel it's only happening to them. And I do direct new Mandela comers to you, Sandy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I figure if they don't want something as deep, you know what I mean? If you don't want something as deep. But I can't wait to see your show today, because maybe it's someone that I've actually watched.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, because I've never seen this person before. And like I said, the links are always in the description for you guys to go check them out and subscribe, because, I mean, the video is older. I don't know if they're still making content. I'd have to go check. Josh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did Josh drop out? Oh, okay.
No, he's here.
Because all of a sudden that guitar thing went away.
The link for your show. Oh.
Those noises just disappeared.
Yeah, right. Of course, they heard us say that we were ending the show. And they're like, okay, we'll go away. I don't know. Yeah, no need to make any interference.
It was crazy though. It just disappeared. Oh my goodness.
We should have
I
said we
didn't
were
hear
ending the
very
show
well.
like an hour and a half ago.
Okay, we're in
Yeah.
the show.
I
Like
wonder if that
Oh, it's back.
maybe is something with your
half
headset or
hour
something.
ago.
It's back.
I don't know what the
Yeah.
hell it could be.
Hopefully, I
I'm
don't
not
bring it
even
over to
moving.
your show.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I don't
weird.
know which one of you it is either. I can't tell.
Let me mute.
Yeah, we both we both jumped out of StreamYard and came back in.
Yeah.
Did you still hear
All
it,
right.
Yeah.
Sandy?
No, it's definitely Psy because when she muted it, disappeared
That's just
completely.
great.
Yeah.
That's just great.
Uh,
I
That's
swear
right.
I'm
We can
not
get it. We can get it
burping.
figured out before the next one. Yeah, or farting.
That's real good too.
It really sounds to me. It really does. It sounds to me like somebody tuning their bass guitar. Like random strums of strings of a bass guitar. Electric bass guitar. Not an electric, well, maybe a bass guitar. Any electric guitar. It has like an electric guitar sound. Like boom, boom, boom. And they're different notes. That's the
I'm
crazy part. It's different
supernaturally,
notes.
I'm supernaturally affected, so maybe one of those spirits around me. I don't know. It's not me. I swear. I'm not farting. I'm not burping. I'm not playing a bass drum.
No, it's definitely 100% sounds electronic. It sounds electronic.
You know what? It's weird that you say that because if I go in a certain spot, because I'm on a headset, like I'm on a trucker's headset.
Hmm.
I'm not on a like computer gaming headset. I'm on a truck. But if I walk in a certain spot, it gets very pixely.
Okay.
But it doesn't happen anywhere else.
I just wonder if it's the headset.
That's great.
It could be
I
the
just bought it.
headset.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of adjustment.
it probably is. Probably just needs to
Get
be
figured out.
adjusted.
Okay. We'll figure it out. Are you having an open panel tonight, Sandy? At all?
No, we're doing a reaction show.
Okay.
Yeah. Aiming for Mandela's tomorrow. I had a lot of stuff to do today. I didn't have time to finish doing any of my work, and then I needed a nap. Otherwise, I would have been up like 30 hours by the time the show was done. So I had to take a nap.
You gotta get some rest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
number one. But
All right.
yeah,
All right, everybody. I guess we'll end the show so Sandy can get to doing her show. I'll
yeah.
see
Well,
you guys over there.
Yep.
I was gonna ask Josh, do you need to like walk the dog or anything before we start? Because if you do, I can always set it
I
up
only
for
need
one.
like 5 minutes. No,
You sure?
I just need like 5 minutes. I'll go up and I can let the dog out back in the fenced area, and I just need to heat up another cup of tea, and I'll be good. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna set it
So
for
yeah,
one, so you're not rushing,
be-
and we're not rushing just because we have to do the sound checks and stuff when we get there. So, guys, I'm moving it to one.
All right.
We'll see you in 25 minutes. Because no, I want to make sure the sound's okay
All right.
and everything. So.
No, Sandy, I
gotcha.
love you. You do.
I'd rather start at one than have the noise all night. So just trust me on this. I know what I'm doing. As Jose says, we're professionals here. I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
see
Well,
you
I
guys
put
soon.
the
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for
Yep, thanks
stopping
for coming
by.
on. Yeah.
What
So
were you
yeah, so I
saying?
put
You
I
have
put the link
what?
to Sandy's show. I put the link to your show
Okay.
in the chat, so it's right there. And don't forget to go up to the pinned comment and check out Psy's channel before you hop over to Sandy's. And
Yeah.
we will do a
Thank
quick shout out, and then we'll play out with some some nice soft music to hopefully not put you to sleep.
Before you do the shout out,
What's
though,
that?
I'm going to go so I can move. I said before you do the shout out, though, I'm going to go so I can move the time on the show.
Okay. All right, cool.
So
Yeah, no
thank you
problem.
for having me on. I'll see you guys soon. Just in
See
case
at
you're going to bed, have a
1:15.
good night. Not 1:15.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I know.
I'm so just joking.
All right,
All
I'll
right.
see you soon.
See you soon.
All right.
Josh, I'm gonna hang. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So in the chat, I'm gonna go from top to bottom just because it's easier that way. I don't have to scroll all the way back down. But most recently, we had joining us was Joe King Explores the Realm. I watched your two new videos you put up today. Those are cool. We got The Mind Says, Rye Russ Real was in the chat. Astral Fugitive popped in. We got The Mind. There was a good chat tonight. Jenny Eversole was here. Mr. Super Sidewinder was here. Stopped in to say hello. Mud Rabbit was here. Jared Jaguar. Skip to Malou. Stopped in for a little bit. So yeah, it's good to see all you guys, and I appreciate you coming in, joining the conversation, asking questions. I just can't believe how fast the time went by. Ken Raz was here. I mean, we've been 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Really?
Splatter was here.
Buttons was here. Ken Raz. Did you already say
Ken
him?
Raz pushing buttons. No, I haven't gotten to them yet. They were early, and yeah. Anybody else you can think of? Oh, there's Ken Raz. Because yeah, my chat does cut out after about 30 minutes is about all it keeps in there. So there's pushing.
My fellow Libra, which I forget his name, but I'm sorry.
Your fellow Libra.
Yeah, I forget who that was. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I think I said Mud Rabbit, but just in case I didn't, Mud Rabbit was here in the beginning, and yeah, back up to Ken Raz. That's the last one that I'm seeing. So, thank you everybody for being here. Ken Raz says missing 4. I'm not sure what that means, but yes, thank you all for being here. What's that?
The new person, I forget his name. That you watched his channel. The new one you subscribed to.
Justin Johnson.
Yeah,
Justin Johnson was here. He was the first in the chat. I like Justin's show. He seems like a good guy. So, and then of course my buddy James, in real life friend, that I didn't even know would even listen to my show or any of my videos until a couple weeks ago when I was talking to him, and he started bringing it up, and I'm like, oh, so he'd been lurking on my channel for a couple months now, I think, but that's okay. Lurkers are good. So any last words of wisdom you'd like to say before we get out of here?
I like to say, honestly, if you have any personal Mandela effects that you feel you want to share, or you just want to listen to somebody else's experience or how they handle it, definitely subscribe. I do have some videos up. I haven't put any new ones up because I'm kind of booked this week and next week, but I will try to post as many as I can. Sometimes I do them and then post them all at one time. So just keep your eye out. for more videos and stuff coming. And as soon as I hit that 50 subscribers, I will be doing live streams.
Cool. Yep. And don't forget in the pinned description is the link to her channel. Go check it out and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll get notified when she puts up a new video or something. So, well, awesome show. Thank you, Psy, for being here and talking to me. I think it was a great conversation. I learned something new every time I talk to you. So, and I'm sure that people in the chat do too. So, we appreciate it and can't wait to see what you got coming up next.
We would do Astrology 3.
Yeah, sounds like I think people would like that. So, but yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll keep you updated on what we come up with next. So,
Absolutely.
I guess. All right. Well, I guess with that being said, this is a song from my buddy Ormane.
Love Ormane.
What's that?
I love Ormane. He's great.
Yeah, Ormane is awesome. And so this is one that he did just a little freestyle, I think, recording a couple weeks ago, and I just thought it was so awesome. I actually think I used this in one of my videos, so I thought I'd give him a little shout out. So go check out Ormane. He's got some great music and some good nature videos from the kayak on the river or the lake or wherever he's paddling down. So go check him out, and we'll see you guys all next time.
See you guys.
You want to say
Josh,
goodbye?
I'm hanging. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yep. Thanks for being here.
Back.
Appreciate you. We'll see you at Sandy's. All right.
See you at Sandy's.